They said she was the gentlest soul at St. Adrian's boarding college. Her name was Sister Miriam. She wasn't like the other nuns. While most wore white or cream habits, hers was navy blue, almost black, and always pristine. She moved slowly, gracefully, as if the air itself parted to make way for her. Her footsteps never echoed. Her lips always moved in silent prayer. Students whispered that she had once been a nurse in a war, maybe World War II, maybe older. No one could agree on the details, but everyone agreed she had the kindest eyes, eyes that shimmered behind her thin veil, eyes that sometimes glinted red if you looked too long. Every morning, before the chapel bell rang, she would glide through the East Wing's corridors. Her veil floated behind her. Her rosary clinked faintly at her waist. If a student bowed, she would gently incline her head. If they said good morning, she'd murmur, "May peace be with you." But if they stared, she would smile, and that smile never touched her eyes. The girls of dormitory B, ages 12 to 15, were the ones who saw her the most. Their rooms were nearest the East Wing staircase, and her habit would sometimes pass by their windows. After curfew, long past midnight. At first it was nothing, just footsteps, a faint dragging sound, the soft clatter of beads. Then the prayers began, a whisper from the hallway, a voice so quiet it sounded like your own thoughts. "Have you prepared your soul for Vespers?" The first to complain was Naomi. She was 14 and had transferred in from Lagos that term. One night she woke up screaming, claiming someone was sitting on her chest, whispering about penance and blood. The matron said it was sleep paralysis. The chaplain suggested a confession. Naomi's parents pulled her out by the end of the week. Her bed was stripped the next morning. No goodbye, no suitcase, no trace. Sister Miriam never ate in the dining hall. She never drank at the fountains or visited the staff canteen. The younger girls thought she fasted, or maybe she was holy enough to survive on God's grace alone. But the older girls began to notice other things. During morning roll calls, some names would disappear. A girl named Ifunanya, another called Rachel, then Kioma. Their lockers would be emptied overnight. Their names wiped off the whiteboard. When asked, the teachers would say they transferred. Their parents didn't like the environment, but no parents were ever seen. No bags were ever carried out. No cars pulled up. No goodbyes. One evening, a brave girl named Lola decided to test something. She wrote her own name in chalk under the chapel pew where she always sat. She told her roommates, "If I disappear, check. If it's gone, you'll know it wasn't my parents." 2 days later, she was gone. And under the pew, just clean wood. No chalk, no smudge, no Lola. The strangest incident happened in the second week of May. A girl named Jennifer, bold, mouthy, never afraid of anything, claimed she saw under Sister Miriam's veil. She told her bunkmates in hushed tones, clutching her cross like a weapon. "I swear it wasn't a face," she said, trembling. "It looked like teeth, rows and rows, sharp, black, glistening, no lips, no eyes, just a grin." They all laughed nervously, said she was making it up. That night, Jennifer didn't scream, didn't panic. She simply vanished. When the bell rang at 5:30 a.m., her bed was perfectly made. Her blanket folded at the corners like a hotel room. Her locker was shut, and the nameplate that once read Jennifer M. had been peeled off. Not scratched, not torn, peeled, as though it had never been there. The dorm matron said her father had come for her in the night. An emergency, they claimed, appendicitis, or maybe malaria. But Jennifer's roommate swore she heard nothing, and no one saw a car that night. After that, the girls were different. They prayed more. They whispered less. They never stared too long at Sister Miriam, but there were still rumors. Stories told under blankets, over biscuits, during sneaked midnight gossip sessions. Some said Sister Miriam had died decades ago, and that the real Miriam had been buried beneath the East Wing during renovations. that what now walked the halls wasn't a nun at all, but something older, a spirit, a watcher. Some claimed she collected souls, that every time she smiled, she marked someone. Some said if you saw her outside the school grounds, it meant you were next. And one girl, Amara, said she saw her standing in the mirror after brushing her teeth. She was behind me, Amara whispered. Not reflected, just there, real, breathing, watching. No one believed her, until she started sleepwalking, until she walked barefoot into the woods behind the hostel and was found humming the school's Latin hymn under her breath, swaying under the tall trees, eyes rolled back. They took Amara away, in an ambulance. She never came back. Her locker was assigned to a new girl 2 days later. The school principal, Father Namdi, eventually announced during Mass, "Sister Miriam has taken a leave of absence." But the students knew better. She was still there, not in the staff directory, not in the timetable, but in the walls, behind the curtains, between the floorboards, watching. Some said you could see her if you woke up at exactly 3 a.m. and looked into the mirror without blinking. Others claimed she no longer walked. She floated, gliding past closed doors, her veil trailing behind her like smoke. And some swore that if she ever smiled at you, only you were already gone. Nina was the last. She was quiet, bookish, never broke rules, always punctual. She wasn't the type to imagine things, but she told her roommate one night, her voice barely a breath, "I saw her at the back of the music room, just standing, watching, no reflection in the window, but I saw her in the corner." She didn't sleep that night. She kept the lights on. She held her crucifix until morning. Her friends offered to report it to the guidance counselor, but Nina begged them not to. She didn't want to be pulled out like Amara. She wanted to stay, to finish the term. That Friday, Nina didn't show up for breakfast. Her bed was made. Her rosary was hanging perfectly from the bedpost, and her locker empty. No books, no name, no clothes, not even dust. The final student to ever speak of Sister Miriam was a transfer named Dara. She came from a city school, bold, curious, too curious. She stayed up one night, hid under her blanket with a torch and waited. She heard it. Footsteps, then beads, then silence, then a whisper. "Do you wish to receive the night blessing?" She turned her torch to the door. Nothing. But when she turned it back, Sister Miriam was standing inside the room, right by the curtains, smiling. The veil lifted slightly, just slightly. Dara screamed and screamed and screamed. She was sent home the next day, wrapped in a blanket, her eyes unblinking. Her parents never spoke to the school again. Dara didn't speak again either, not for years. Now they say Sister Miriam is no longer at St. Adrian's. The new administration claims there are no nuns on campus, that the school is modern now, progressive, that the East Wing was sealed off due to plumbing, that the old chapel no longer exists. But the students still whisper. They say sometimes when the weather is cold and the lights flicker just before dawn, you can hear it. Beads, dragging footsteps, and a whisper, "Have you confessed your heart tonight?" Some say she still walks the halls, not for penance, not for prayer, but for watchers, for the ones who stare too long. Because once you've seen what lies beneath the veil, you never walk alone again. She follows. She follows. She follows you home,